In this video, I'm going to show you my new Mistlands fortress. This fortress covers an entire mountain, and it's even located right next to a queen's lair for repeated farming and survival, and I included every item from the crafting tab in the build menu. So if you're looking for an easy Mistlands base next to a queen's lair, stick around to the end of the video to get the download. Throughout the video, we're going to follow the same order that I went in when I built the base. Each section of the base, I'm going to show you how I built it and then take you on a short tour. Alright, let's get started with the harbor. Alright, so first things first, I opened up the mouth of the harbor. Once I knew that I could fit a longboat inside, I went ahead and added a sandy shore so that if you fell in the water, you could actually get out. And then after that, I made a slight blueprint for the docks themselves. After this, I actually made a blueprint for the entire project. I highly recommend doing this. It's very cheap if you do it with wood, and it doesn't take a lot of time. You can see I'm really just focusing on working with the environment, going through rocks and across gaps in rocks. After a while, I had my entire blueprint ready on the top of the mountain for my project, and that meant that I could go back and finish work on the docks. So you're going to see here, first things first, I built the actual docks themselves, really trying to mix black marble and wood. And then after that, you can see I made a kind of decreasing in height fence on the side of the harbor area. And then I finished it up by adding in a warehouse kind of defensible area over here. Alright, so I was going to do a fancy little intro with me coming in on a boat, but what is going on? Oh my gosh, and now I'm immediately full speed. Well, welcome to the harbor. So anyway, let's head off the boat around to the dock. You can see on this side, I've got a sandy shore. In case you fall in the water, you can swim out. Over here, we can hop onto the docks. But before we go down them, let's talk about the wall. We've got a little wall over here defending from some possible enemies. Just kind of alternating between black marble and the Diverger stake walls. And then yeah, we can head on down the dock towards the warehouse. The dock turned out really nicely, nice little curved pattern with some really cool details. And then over here we have the docks warehouse. This is a warehouse, kind of fort, kind of defensible area, really whatever you kind of want it to be. But you can see on the inside we've got some storage tucked away, so after a long journey you could come in here and offload some items. And then there's even a portal here which takes you all the way up to the furthest house to save you some time on trips back and forth. Over here, we've got a staircase kind of heading up through the mountain, which brings you up to the top of the warehouse where you could defend against an attack from out back, and you could even defend against an attack in the harbor. A little cartography table here, and just a few other things, and a little raised area here for a better view of the harbor. Alright, for the stairs I started off with a very basic outline. Now you can see that my initial blueprint was actually wrong. You can see this little stair sticking out from the wooden line there. That's because you need to build an angled, curved line from the inside corner, not the outside. It ended up making me change all of the stairs and even adding a bridge over top of the stairs, but it honestly worked out really well in the end. You can see now I've added in some wooden hand railings and extra details like black marble pillars and even some black marble arches. Once I finished this, I moved on to the bridge where I initially built a very basic outline, and then I added in some nice angled pieces to start feeling like a bridge. After that, I added in iron beams to support the floor, and then after that, I finished up the look of the bridge from underneath after a lot of experimenting with these angled pieces, and then I added in a handrail to finish up and get the aesthetic that I wanted for the bridge. All right, now it's time to talk about the stairs, which is going to take us up towards everything else. So let's go ahead and do that. The stairs turned out really cool. I think they kind of just naturally fit in with the environment, or at least that was the goal anyway. You can see we're kind of snaking left and right through the mountain. Nice little stone arch here, a ballista to defend. Little turnaround here in the path leading up towards a bridge. Definitely had to improvise here. My initial blueprint was kind of terrible, but it all worked out. We've got a really cool bridge and an area to defend from, some cool pillars on the side with lanterns, some trophies on the walls, all sorts of little things here and there. Another archway going across, some nice little decorations, some archways here, kind of framing out this circular terrace, you could call it, I suppose. View of the harbor down below, a little bench where you could take a seat. And then, yeah, we could head up this way where we just kind of have a little place to defend from. And then you also just have your kind of pathway. And then we can head around up the stairs towards the bridge. The bridge turned out really cool. You know, I just started with some pieces to like bridge the gap, I guess. Well, obviously it's a bridge. I mean, basically I started with a thin line and then I just like made it thicker and thicker and thicker. And I think it turned out really cool with all these different angled pieces we have with the black marble, even bringing down this angled line all the way down the cliff to really make it seem like it's connected really well. And then over here you can see my custom handrail, which you're going to see in a lot of places around the rest of the fort. So yeah, next we're actually going to talk about this center section, which is super out of order. It's the last thing I built, but this is kind of the intersection of all the rest of the buildings. So we're going to talk about this next so that we can move around easier for the rest of the video. Alright, so with this center building, it's kind of interesting. I started off with a very basic outline, just like before, just like we're going to do with the rest of the buildings. And then I added a very standard wall with some standard windows. But then I added this roof, and I really just didn't like it. It felt like a temple to me or something, and the main thing is it was too tall, it blocked the views. So you can see I toned it back a bit, added a windmill, busted out the windows, and made this more of an open, free-flowing space where you can travel through. The main thing is I wanted to make the building short, so that meant that I lost height on the inside. So I took advantage of being able to go into the ground here, and then also took advantage of being able to go into the roof to increase the overall space and feeling on the inside. I even added in some angled pieces here on the roof to further allow for sunlight to come in through this hole. Alright, so really quickly, I just wanted to talk about this center building here. So this center building, if you go off to the side, you can see is kind of just built right into the cliff in the middle of everything as a shorter building that is supposed to not really like impede any views or anything. It's just supposed to be an intersection point for everything else. You can see I also decided to make this a little bit functional by including the windmill here in the center with a little bit of like a grinding wheel to maybe look like it's kind of operational. You know, like I said before, I have everything from the crafting menu in this world so that it's good for survival. So the windmill, I just thought I'd include right in the center. You can see there is some real storage, and there's also some showy storage in the middle so that you could actually store some barley flour or whatever you would like to here by the windmill. And then, yeah, you can see we've just got some cool little places to sit, some stone arches or black marble arches, and a couple of different staircases leading to the 3 different buildings. But that's it for the intersection building. Let's move on to the next section. Alright, so the lookout tower and the wizard tower. First things first, like always, I built the basic outline and then I got rid of the old wooden blueprint. After that, I started adding crenellations onto my lookout tower, and then I decided to add the staircase kind of curving through the rocks coming down from the main platform up above. Then I added the same crenellations to the main platform. I added a little area right here. And then you can see I finished up the lookout tower and the main platform, so I got to work on the wizard's tower. I used iron pieces to support the first side, and then I built across and upwards instead of down, so I didn't have to use iron pieces. And then I made sure that my tower matched up properly with the rest of the build, made sure that I could fit staircases on the inside, and then I went ahead and built it. I kind of did it in 3 different stages, kind of anchoring it to the cliff and then building the middle floors and then building the very top. All right, now let's talk about the right side of the fortress. We're going to head all the way down there, and we're also going to talk about the wizard tower up top. You'll see in a moment why I'm calling it the wizard's tower, but let's head over here and actually head right by it first of all and head down this curvy staircase to what I've been calling the lookout tower. You've got a great view here of the harbor, and if you back up, you can see that you've got a great view of the entire mountain because of this little tower. It kind of like filled a little empty section on the bottom of the mountain. But yeah, as we head back up the staircase, we've got a really cool little curvy staircase built in between 2 rocks that were here before. And then up here on this side of the staircase, admittedly, this is completely useless, but I thought it was a cool little kind of decorated area to have. So yeah, let's head into the wizard's tower. We're going to head straight down the stairs to the armory. Now, of course, this is going to be your Black Forge area with your Black Forge cooler. If you are downloading this world and playing it in survival, you will have to resist grabbing all these items and just have this as a really cool armory. You can see I even added a little grindstone here where you could maybe like grind your weapons down. I thought that'd be kind of cool and like a food thing as a snack. I don't know, I guess I kind of thought that was kind of funny, but it didn't really turn out to be kind of funny. So yeah, but down below, we've got a little light, which I forgot to light. But yeah, this is pretty much just the armory, Diverger trophies all around, storage here and there. And yeah, a little bench here used as a shelf. Some storage there tucked into the rocks sticking through the wall. Up here on the 2nd floor, we leave the armory and we come into a bigger storage area here. We've got a Galder table and a rune table and some wisp fountains tucked into some black marble pieces. Little place to sit with, you know, just some more extra details, some wood storage there. And we can head up the stairs to the final bit of gadgets where you can put this thing. This thing is absolutely enormous, but here it is at the top of the tower with some wisp fountains, a little place to sit, and, you know, I don't know, maybe like just a nice view. Well, maybe not of the mist, but I mean, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this section, the right section of the build. Alright, first I built the initial shape of the tower, then I added some angled pieces to increase space inside, then I added 3 walls with windows, 1 wall with a doorway, and you can see some nice pillar details on the outside. After that, I added in a nice wooden window here and some extra little blue jute details. And that's when I realized I really needed more room inside of this tower. But first, I wanted to add the roof and add some crenellations. And after that, I wanted to make sure that the actual tower itself looked a little more detailed with some nice rounded corners. But then I busted out the corners to add more space on the inside. Of course, then I went to the outside to make sure that I could make that actually look good. And after this, I decided that the front side of the tower, instead of curving inwards on the bottom, maybe I could make it curve outwards to meet with the land. So that's exactly what I did, and I think it added a lot to the look of the front of this tower. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to kind of the left side of the area up here over towards the workshop tower. I love how I got these little like wood element windows into the mix. As we head in, you're going to see, like I said, this is the kind of workshop tower. So we've got here on the main floor, we've got an artisan table, a forge table, and a workbench. I'll go ahead and go around and show you all of the little details. You can see that each of the workstations, I try to kind of tuck their little accessories like into kind of fancy little spots up onto a raised block, kind of diagonally into the wall. You know, kind of working in some rugs, some banners here and there, trying to use the diverger lamps, which are kind of dim, I mean, to be honest, but I think the lighting looks really good, the dimmer lighting with the black marble pieces. We got a raised up forge table here to fit the forge bellows really well, a tucked away smith's anvil, some tools up top. And yeah, you know, just trying to make this a really fun, dynamic space for a little workshop, instead of just having like just the workshop pieces in here and no details. But yeah, now we can head up the stairs to the rest of the workshop, where we've got, you know, just your smelter, your blast furnace, and your kiln. Once again, we've got these cool black marble arches. We've got vines as kind of a living roof feature, some storage up here, which you'd probably need in a workshop, and, you know, just a nice little place to sit and enjoy the views. Alright, getting started with some downwards and outwards angled pieces on the front entrance, and then upwards and outward angled pieces on the sides of the building. You can see then I put some basic walls in and then replaced them a little bit with some more detailed pillared walls. After that, you can see I added some crenellations, and then you can see the difference between the corner walls and the side walls. The corner walls I wanted to feel skinnier and taller, so I staggered those arches above the windows, and you know, the side walls I did not stagger the arches. Then you can see the front entrance, I added that in. I think this turned out really good, especially with that queen trophy there. And then I added in some supporting pillars for the ceiling, making sure to leave a little bit of room for a staircase on the side. And then I finished up the main structure by adding in some black marble arches with kind of like a living terrace on the roof. Alright, so now let's head on to the back building over there in the back. This is actually my favorite building by far. This is kind of the home building where you would do your sleeping and your cooking and maybe you're hanging out. You can see this building is absolutely menacing when you're coming up these stairs. Love how it looks. Queen trophy up top, banner details on the sides, really cool front entrance. As we head inside, you're going to see that we've got some really nice stone arches. We've got kind of a raised section in the back, which you'll see in a moment. Over here on this side, we've got a little storage area kind of tucked underneath the stairs. That's actually the portal which goes down to the harbor, so you can make quick trips up and down with your new items. Over here, we've got kind of an inside dining room. Up top, we've got an outside dining room, little place to drink some mead. I mean, well, this is a fermenter, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's supposed to look like you can drink some mead, and you've got a little statue here, and, you know, just some food on display, a little beehive for some honey. Let's head back here into the raised section, which you've got an extra portal, which you could use for anywhere else. And back here, we have a bedroom. I love how this came out. We got a little carpeted floor and a lowered section for the bed. Little shelf here, which I think always looks good with stone, and now also with black marble. Little place there for some more storage, and even a little hair trophy here for some good luck as you wake up in the morning. Let's head up the stairs here to the second floor, which you do kind of have to sprint to get through that gap. I'm sorry about that. Up here on the second floor is the, like, I absolutely love this area. Look at this. We've got the outdoor kitchen and also kind of the hangout area here. Let's start over by the stairs. We've got food here, just like the armory. If you're going to use this world for survival, you would want to just leave this as display, of course. We've got all the different Mistlands foods in different kind of assortments and decoration styles. A little table to sit here. Of course, once again, the living terrace up above. I'm calling it a living terrace. I don't even know if that's what you call that, but yeah, I'm just calling it that anyway. Little place to sit. Really cool little spot for a hot tub. Fermenters, you know, once again, a place to drink, catch the overflow. Little kitchen over here in the back with, of course, like your mortar and pestle and your pots and pans. Spice rack, stone oven, and a little beehive area even for some honey. Absolutely love how this little top area ended up coming out in the end. Alright, so keep a lookout for a new looking channel very soon. I have a new logo, banner, and even a new name going live in the next few weeks. Also, I just added channel memberships to the channel if you're interested in getting any of my old worlds, and I even added a cheaper tier for those of you that just want to help support the channel. If you stuck around to the end for the world download, head down into the description, click the invite link to join my Discord, and there you will find a free worlds text channel with this world and a few others. Thank you very much for watching. More coming soon. Take care and see you soon.